Appeals. This is a special meeting that we scheduled this evening. We'll call the meeting to order. Before we do, I'd like everyone to stand and we do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, Rachel, if you call the roll for the record, please.
Randy Van Buren.
Here.
David Hara.
Here.
Tom Hill.
Here.
Dave Lindros.
Here.
Alternate Dale Lewis. At this time, I'm going to ask our law director to explain anybody who's going to testify why she needs to swear you in and how she'll go about doing that. So, Mandy, if you would.
With these meetings, people have a right to appeal the decision, and if you choose to appeal, you have to understand that everything you're telling the board tonight is testimony for purposes of that appeal. So I will ask that you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to state your first, last name, and either your organization, business, or home address.
Okay. All right, so Rachel, if you would read case 2025-0035 BZA.
Applicant Sub-Zero Mission submitted a conditional use application for property located at 1760 Northridge Road. The request is to operate as a Lake County, Ohio Code of Blue Emergency overnight hosting site as a similar use to be activated only during declared Code Blue events and at no other times.
Okay, I find no error in our zoning inspector requiring a conditional use permit per our zoning resolution here. So at this time, is there someone who would like to speak in favor and tell us what you're trying to do?
You to swear in.
Just right there at the podium. Could you state your first and last
My
name?
name is Al Raditz. I'm the CEO of Sub-Zero Mission.
Okay, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth
I
to the
do.
board tonight? Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Al Raditz. I'm with Sub-Zero Mission. We're looking for conditional use to use our garage and storage area during a Code Blue scenario, which is the 0 degree standard. I mean, it can be 15 degrees with wind chill, but 0 is what we're looking for. I think I've stated before that we do have heated flooring. We do have good location. We've got a kitchen area and a washer and a dryer, and we think that would be a good place for the people to stay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This would only be when the county issues the Code Blue, is that correct?
5 to 15 days a year usually.
All right, I actually got out there Friday, and one of your fellows, he was a former military policeman or something, showed me around. I was pretty impressed with the place.
Thank you.
What we'll do is our board probably has some questions for you.
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask the board questions you have before we talk about conditional uses. So Randy, would you like to start, or anybody?
Sure. Do we need to another swearing?
Shane Hajar, he's on our board of director. He's my governmentese translator.
Good evening.
Okay, well, if he's gonna speak, he should probably be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the board tonight?
Yes.
Okay, Randy, you wanna start?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. I do have a couple of quick questions. So one is, and I see a list of conditions, I'm not sure if we created those, Sean, or if that came from Sub-Zero Mission. I don't know if I saw that originally. Conditions for Sub-Zero Mission, conditional use permit, Code Blue Warming Center, a list of 14.
That's in terms of like a guide / ideas, thoughts that have been bounced around through everything, and it's not necessarily anything set in stone. It's more like, hey, these are things to think about. Some are covered in the conversation of his scope of use and request.
There she is.
It's not on the second.
Correct. I just
Okay.
handed them out today. So,
Okay.
I mean, you can ask about them,
Yep.
questions back
Perfect.
and forth. Type situation. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just
Very good, thank you. The couple questions I had, one is the people that are, and by the way, I think it's fantastic, huge supporter of Sub-Zero Mission, so appreciate what you guys do. In terms of the people that would stay there overnight, for a Code Blue, are they generally transported there from another location? Is that how they get there? It might be somebody, could be on the street, could be wherever, it could be somebody in need. You'll transport them.
We don't transport them. We're part of a partnership, and Lake Tran
Lake
provides the
Tran.
transportation. Yep, they have a
Excellent.
designated spot depending on the night of the week.
Okay, and then Lake Tran, at the end of the Code Blue, whether it's the next morning, whether it's a day later, whatever the case is, Lake Tran would then transport them back to where they picked them up from, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. And the other question I had was with regard to, through everything I could see and codes and things like that, sprinkler systems, there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's no sprinkler system there.
We don't have a suppression system, but
Suppression
we
system,
do
right.
have a detection system, and we did have the fire marshal over the day after the last trustee meeting.
Okay, is it fair, or are you okay if we added a condition that would say there would be, so from the military days, we would always have a fire watch overnight, right?
Part of the process,
That is
yes.
part of the process,
Yep, and when
okay.
the fire inspector came over, he even added to our process a little bit with some sign-in sheets and some checkpoints and things like that, so.
Okay, you're good with that, we could add a fire watch to it.
Absolutely.
Perfect, okay. That's really the only questions that I had.
Okay, a question that is part of his question, Lake Tran brings these people in. Are they coming, when I stopped over, the fellow I spoke to said they come basically from the Salvation Army. Is that the pickup point?
I don't know that Salvation Army is the pickup point. I think that they get picked up over by St. James or over at St. Mary's, depending on where the feeding is that night.
I guess what I'm kind of coming in backwards on this. One of the conditions we're probably going to have to set is how many people you can have in there. If Code Blue is enacted and Lake Tran starts picking people up, and let's say we said 20 people is the max, and the bus shows up, one of them's got 15, the other one's got 10. You're over what the conditions are. Is that a possibility, or do you generally know how many people are going to show up? But you've never done it before, so it's
Well,
tough.
there were 5 that went into the warming center that was opened up over the weekend. There was a Code Blue that was called this weekend, and they had to pick an alternate site, and there were 5.
Okay.
I think that the high number last year was 20 or 25. The numbers are going up every year. I don't see it going over 30, but I would think that we would have to talk about a bigger place if we started getting into numbers like 30 and 40 and 50. My garage does expand if I need to. We do have a set of double doors that goes into space that we sort. I've got an area that's kind of designated as a kitchen there. It's blocked off by lockers. If you were there the other day, those are movable, and I can expand.
Is that where the coffee is in that?
That is.
Okay. Because when I saw it, that's a different door you'd have to go through. You say you can open it up, so it would be same part of the same area?
I'm thinking of a different spot. There's 2 places that have coffee. So there's one that has kind of like a formalized coffee center, and then there's one place that has a long table that's out in that garage area. That's where my team typically deploys from,
Okay.
but that acts as a kitchen area.
You can see in the photo, with all the cots, the overview of the cots on the left-hand side, like there's lockers, and then there looks to be on the left-hand side. The other one's more of a storage, right? I'm assuming that's
The
correct.
picture from up above is from our storage area, but you can see down in there to where the kitchen area is, and we've got the cots backed up to it, but I think I can just put another.
You have this drawing, can you put it up there?
I do not have, I don't have a colored copy. It would be very fuzzy.
Well, the bottom drawing here,
Yeah.
from when I was there, the people would come in through a door here, is that correct?
Correct.
And this is where they would be screened and checked?
Yeah, they would be screened and checked right in this area here. This area is set up as kind of a kitchen area here.
So
You can
this
see
is the one that you
microwave,
could move them
refrigerator.
into if you needed to?
Absolutely. I can move these lockers right down and open up this whole area.
Because this is where I came through, and this is coffee on the other side of this door, I believe.
Correct. Storage area and then coffee.
Okay. Do you see that, Randy? This is where they'll come in through this man door here and screen. Okay.
Has the fire department gave you a max occupancy for the homeless?
They have not, or at least I don't remember that as part of the conversation, but I can't imagine that it would be much over 30.
Okay.
Now remember, there's a set of double doors where the picture is taken from up above
Mm-hmm.
is an area that is our storage area. Again, I can't imagine the Lake Tram bus showing up with 50 people or 60 people, but if there wasn't an alternate space, we could make it happen. If it
Okay.
had to, the plan right now is that for us to call and create an alternate space.
Okay. What else did I want to ask you? As far as documenting when they come in, what are your plans for that? Are you planning on get like their name?
Yeah, there's a
And-
name, there's a waiver, there's a wanding that happens, any
Okay.
weapons, illegal things, so they would remove those things right then, and that's about the extent of it.
So let's, if somebody would get up in the middle of the night, you're gonna have, my major concern is security there. I know I looked on a few things from the state of Ohio. Columbus had a failed service center, warming center, and they said their major reason it failed because they didn't have enough security there, and people were leaving in the middle of the night. I think there's some cases where Painesville Township had one, and somebody was out doing something in the middle of the night. There's a few failed ones around. We just want to make sure. I'm 100% for this, but I just want to make sure. And we have an obligation to the community, to our citizens, and to other businesses that it goes smoothly. And that's kind of why we're here. We want to make sure that we can work with you and prevent anything before it happens. So that's what we're looking to do.
I understand, and I appreciate it. I mean, there's always gonna be a chance that something could happen.
Mhm.
We have used some of the things that we know about in the past to kind of mitigate some of that. We created the caged-in area there for us to take anything that's steely or, might entice somebody to do something wrong. We expect to have the fire watch up. I would say generally the Lake County Sheriff is sitting in my parking lot. We have a nice little speed area there that we work nicely for, but I can't guarantee that they would be there. But other than the people that are volunteering there, I don't have.
Have you had discussions with the sheriff department if this goes through and there is a code blue that, hey, is there a chance you could have somebody maybe not there all night long, but in and out?
I would happily have that conversation.
There's someone
Like I said,
behind you.
If I look on my cameras, generally at night, the sheriff is there, but I certainly would ask. I mean,
Okay.
they have budgets and, patrol patterns and everything too. So, I don't know what their answer would be, but typically they're there anyway.
Now, would you rely on your own security or would you contact a security firm? That's another thing the state of Ohio recommend, maybe get a
So
private
I
security.
am part of a larger continuum of care. So I'm providing the space. There's a membership that is here with me that represents some of the other nonprofits that are involved and, the county offices and whatnot. I would provide the space. Some of my guys are trained to be volunteers as far as volunteering with the people. And, we can guarantee that there would be a fire watch, but I wouldn't personally be providing the security. Now, there are cameras everywhere in that building. You could see when you were in there on all sides of the building, we have cameras and, there's a rule set that once you're in, you're to stay in. We don't want people going next door and, harassing the store next door or, buying a bunch of alcohol or anything like that. The plan is for once people are in, for them to be in. And, typically people are in there and they're grateful that they have a place to stay on a cold night.
Yeah, okay.
I noticed in your write-up, and I think it's a wonderful concept, so we're here just try to make it as successful, safe, secure as it can be. So we appreciate you coming before us to tell us about this.
Every year in the 17 years that I've been involved in Sub-Zero Mission has been kind of a different scenario with when we get code glue together and how it works. This year has been more organized than other years, but we always seem to be into December and kind of talking about where it's going to be and how it's going to be. And the buildings that are set up, I would say, are not set up as places that would be as good as the place that we can provide. On the alternate side of that, it provides a safety thing for my team. When I hear about the risk of fire and things like that, you're risking 20 fires if 20 people are outside and sitting in woods places. My team has to be put at risk. If I'm crawling down trails and we're next to the river, it's easier for us to find them and service them in our building than it is to go out there and find them at night. Excuse me.
Yeah, so in your write-up, you mentioned there'd be chaperoning by a partner team.
Correct.
So could you elaborate on I wasn't quite sure, who is the
So
partner
again, we're
team?
part of the larger continuum of care, so we work, mainly with, people from the churches. Church of the Nazarene, I think, is where is that where Brian is from, Church of the Nazarene?
Okay.
Brian Forney is with Church of the Nazarene. United Way helps with the training of the personnel that work in there. 4 of my team have joined that team and are doing the training.
I guess what we're getting at is if Code Blue is enacted and you're getting the people in there, is there gonna be someone there, somebody overseeing things that is
There
not
is.
sleeping in a chair somewhere, but is kind of keeping an eye on
Yeah,
everybody?
Brian Forney is kind of in charge of the volunteers that come in there, and again, the plan is to have people that are awake and alert and acting as
Okay.
fire watch and be in there.
And more than one person.
All right.
Okay.
How many people?
Well,
How many people? are
Probably
there?
what
I
it
think
takes.
they do shifts of 4.
Shifts of 4?
you don't plan,
Two beyond, I'll wait till the left turn, sorry.
okay. Any other questions?
Just a couple of quick, so I'm thinking more of the larger process, and, you're a key piece of the larger process to make sure folks are getting there safely, being taken care of, what you were doing, then getting back. So can you tell me a little bit about who actually calls the Code Blue? How is that made? And then how do you get the word that there is a Code Blue, and then when it's over?
So we have kind of a call chain, and at the top of that, we know Brian Forney is part of the decision making. He would communicate with the county, watching the weather and whatnot. The call would be made. Lifeline is notified, 211 is notified, and then we have kind of a uniform message that comes out. Whatever Lifeline posts, you're going to see also on the Sub-Zero Missions page and a few other ones. Over the weekend, we also had kind of like a command channel where we were all, talking to each other, via text message and whatnot. So we stay in pretty tight communication.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is it's a coordinated communication that's going on. Lifeline, the 211, is
Absolutely.
kind of part of making sure the right people are getting the information when they need it.
Absolutely.
And then, and then you are, what we're here to do is to make sure your facility, in terms of the safety, the security, the capacity, things that are important to all of us, we just have a conversation, make sure we agree.
Sure. Protecting our neighbors, and I
Okay.
get that as well.
Thank you.
So I see you have about 20 beds in here now in the picture. Is that kind of where you're looking to start?
Yeah, that's what we think, just based on the last couple of years and what we saw last year. We think 20 to 25 might be a real high number, but we don't have any way of knowing. Again, there were only 5 in there this weekend, but 98 people ate at the church a couple
Right.
weeks ago, so.
So do you think if we put a max number on it, like what would you be good with?
I would say probably 30 or 35 is probably our high number.
And just to
Unless
be
you're
able
gonna let me
to,
expand into the other part of my building. Again, if the bus shows up on a minus degree night with 50 people on it, I've got to put them somewhere till we figure out where to put them, so.
yeah. So it would have to be in conjunction with the fire department, what they would approve to be in that building? So we'll have to set it 30, 35, or to whatever the fire department calls it out to be.
A lesser number if the fire department has a limit.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
One other question, hours, when I was out there, the fellow I spoke to said that it typically goes from 7 p.m. the night it's declared to 7 a.m. the next morning. 7 a.m. Lake Tran is up there to move people out.
That's correct.
Okay. We're just doing this because we have to come up with conditions and we want to make sure that they're accurate and that you're in line with them. Okay.
And then in the morning when they come to, so everyone's going to be picked up from the lake train?
Correct.
Okay. And is that normally like a 7:30 type time or what?
I've never run it, but my belief is that they get there, the plan is for them to be there at 7. I guess they could be as late as 7:30.
Yeah, a half hour either way is not going to be, just so we have a guideline. 7 in the morning, 7 in the evening till 7 in the morning, or close to that. Okay.
So would like 6 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. sound About fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. We missing anything? Any other questions that anybody has?
Maybe not questions, but I mean, as Mr. Chairman indicated, just because this is very unique, right? And we appreciate that you're coming here and seeking approvals and things like that. There are a lot of factors to consider. I'm wondering if it makes sense. I don't know if you've seen the 14. There's none of these conditions that I necessarily disagree with. And so I'm wondering if it would be useful to maybe have Sean share these conditions.
You have not seen these?
No, this was literally a work in progress with basically a lot of the department heads trying to figure out the best options. Since you guys are an independent board, they're just numbered in nature just because we're sitting there throughout the day coming up with conditions, because we've never had this type of facility. The only one is kind of like Project Hope, right? So, but they're commercial or community service type situation. So, I mean, there's nothing to hide from it. It's just the nature of most of the things have kind of been checked off. You can,
Yeah, and you've agreed already with most of them, and I just think it would be useful. These all seem to make sense based on our conversations.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
But I want to make sure that the folks from Sub-Zero
take a minute and look at them. I mean, there's some that are kind of,
Chairman,
yes.
if I could, I just wanted to mention for you guys, number 3, I don't think we can ask them to necessarily enforce that. I don't think they can keep anyone, they can't forcefully keep anyone there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The other thing to mention too is if somebody doesn't catch that lake tram bus, they may find another ride out there.
That's what we're just
Sure,
saying.
right,
Number
exactly.
3
Exactly.
was one that I had
Yeah,
questioned.
that makes sense.
yeah, but I mean, because the sheriff could assist in it too, I'm assuming, you know what I mean? So it's not uncommon for just, and that's why I said it's a lot of brainstorming, trying to figure out from a zoning standpoint, making sure that T's are crossed and I's are dotted from there. This is not nitpicking, it's just like, well, what about this, and this, bouncing back and forth.
Number,
I
when
do
you,
have a question around number 10, because our plan was to put, that we were the code blue. The bus, when it arrives, people that might be coming in cars to there would wanna know that they're at the right site.
yeah,
So I don't really understand that one, but everything else is pretty
had that
standard as
circle.
Yeah,
far
me
as I
too.
know, and it's already.
Yeah. I did have a question about that one. I understand why it's there,
Yeah.
honestly, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw in your write-up that you would say it's code blue when there's a code blue in
Right,
effect.
we have a small scrolling sign that's in front of our building
Sure.
that we would put on there just so people that were driving people up would.
do we need to worry about number 5 and 6? Look at that. I mean, you're not gonna have parties for your staff and sleeping overnight, are you?
I mean, I guess it could.
No, I don't have any attempts to circumvent, the rules of code blue, and,
I think it would be sufficient if we were to say the conditional use permit is for
Code
when
blue,
a
huh?
code blue is called, and then it doesn't apply once code blue is over.
True. Agreed.
As far as you know, and I was in, go ahead, yes. If you wanna state your name, be sworn.
Yes, please. Morris Bevers III.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the board today?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Just wanted to address a couple of the security questions. But we talked with the sheriff's office. Code Blue operation, I don't pretend to be an expert on it, but I've been involved in the last couple of years. It's been in different buildings and facilities. The Sub-Zero building is an amazing opportunity just because of, it's almost as if it was built for this purpose, right? This is what they do, this is what they're passionate about. So there are some nice features of this. But when talking with the sheriff's department, it is nicer to have it in a location that's easier for them to get to that they're patrolling at. We had some last year, we had some at the fairgrounds. It was nice and easy because the sheriff said it was way better for us to try and help patrol at the fairgrounds than it is in other locations throughout the jurisdiction. They're already, as you pointed out, they're already there. I wave to them sometimes on Route 20 on the way home on a late night, but they're already there using the parking lot. And so they are already familiar with the property, and they said it would absolutely be easy for them. When the sheriff is there, typically, as I understand it, a couple times throughout the evening, overnight, while the volunteer team is still up throughout the night, they'll just kind of poke their head in and say hello, to try and make sure that everything is kosher. So, as I understand it, they'll check in a couple times throughout the night while lights are out, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, it's also a delicate kind of balance with the population that we're trying to help here. If there's armed guards and security services, then they may not feel comfortable utilizing the service, which defeats the purpose of trying to make sure that nobody's freezing to death overnight. So it is a delicate balance, but I think the dynamic and the work with the sheriff's department, I think, is working very well. This location is an ideal location for them to be able to. They're already out in that area. It's easier for them to swing in as often as they can, pop their head in. They know the volunteers. They check in a little bit earlier. And as far as the transportation in and out, it's my understanding that 99% of the time they're getting on the bus and they're leaving in the morning. And then that's typically they'll take them back to the Salvation Army, which operates kind of daytime services. So a dinner will be called depending on the location, depending on the night. Lake Tran will come and pick them up. We've got situations where somebody else has shown up or we needed another. Lake Tran is an amazing partner. There are many amazing partners part of this operation. Lake Tran is available. We need to give them a call. Hey, 3 people showed up late for dinner. Can you get up? They've sent extra buses over so that it's a Lake Tran transportation process, so that it minimizes the number of opportunities or times when there's going to be a walk-in or somebody else gets transportation over there. And then, as I understand it, like I said, part of this process is get on the bus and leave. And I think there's an understanding with the folks and the volunteers, along with the folks that they're serving. We're coming here. This is a shelter. You need to get on the bus. We need to take you to the Salvation Army. What you do from there during the day, obviously, is your prerogative. But the message is relayed that this overnight shelter is transportation in, transportation out.
Okay. You mentioned you did, like it may turn some of them off if there's an armed guard there. That's why if you look at number 11 on here, it's a good faith attempt to know that there's a sheriff's presence in and out, and that's all we're looking for.
Yeah, and that,
I don't, you
Yes,
don't want them going into a concentration camp.
Yeah, in
idea.
this location, once again, the location matters, right? So the sheriff's department works wonderfully with us. And if it's in an area that the sheriff's department is frequently in, then it's a lot easier for the sheriff's department to be able to pop their head in and give the all clear sign. If it's not, then a sheriff's road patrol car has to go out of their way, out of road patrol, someplace else that may not be convenient to try and do that. And
Okay.
on a cold night, who knows? You're going to be responding to a bunch of different calls for any number of reasons. And so that's why this location is, amongst all the other things, from a safety standpoint and a security standpoint, working with the partnership with the sheriff's department, the location is ideal.
And I would say in and of itself, the fact of the location actually makes 11 work, really.
Okay.
And you mentioned wands, I think. So you're already doing that, or
Correct.
we'll be doing people coming in. You'll
Yeah.
have a wand. Perfect.
Most of what you have on here is already standard, and the wands
Perfect.
and everything are standard. As far as the fire inspection went, he did hit us up to put pull down handles in addition to the smoke sensors. That was completed over the weekend. We have updated the fire safety plan. It's on the back side of the laminated pictures that I gave you. Fire extinguisher hanger has been corrected. We had to add the additional fire department to the process of calling, letting them know Code Blue was there, so both Bow Hall and Hardy Road will be aware now. And we are working on the exit signs with spotlights, so we believe that we can just replace the exit signs that we have there and have the spotlight there, but we gotta get an electrician in.
Okay.
Seems like a lot, and as Mr. Chairman said, it's just a formality to do it right for the township and for the residents. I think we all support what you're doing 100%.
Sure.
With the wanding, I think in the last couple of years, they started having tubs that were then locked down, so folks as they came in, they put some of their personal belongings. Also, that's, you know, some of the issues with this population coming in, you know, do you wanna fall asleep knowing that whatever you have over here is your most valuable possession that happens to be on your body that day?
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff, they give them the opportunity to say, hey, this is your tub, put in what you want, it's under lock and key, we're gonna be watching it for the rest of the the nights that it gets, just to go back to the number situation, the nights that it has been more people, when there's more souls in shelter that night, we've started to see families come in. And so you may have a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children, that bump those numbers up significantly. We've had a couple situations where folks would be just stay in their car because they weren't comfortable. Working with the United Way, that problem has been mitigated and solved. If we have families, we have other resources, the families and children will not be part of this population that would be on the cots inside Sub-Zero. They would have other arrangements made for them, so that they could be staying elsewhere.
So these are basically individuals, it's not.
These are basic, yes, these are basically adults, 18 and older, individuals, no children or families.
Okay.
So where do the families go?
I believe we have a hotel, system set up with the
Good.
ability to get a hotel overnight for them.
That's great.
Nice, yeah.
The, number 3, no walk-ins, walk-outs. Now, there's a concern of them being able to just leave even though they're not from that area. And they don't want businesses disturbed or anything like
Well,
that.
that kind of covered with 4.
What's that?
That's kind of covered with what you're saying on number 4 here. Once they're in, they can't go out.
But we can't detain them.
Right.
So they're not allowed to leave and return, but if they leave,
I
we
understand.
would have to then notify the authorities that there is.
You would notify somebody that, hey, you knew who he was, so-and-so is out, he left our facility.
Right.
I'm just letting you know that. We would like that to happen, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right, good. Anything else? So the procedure here is we're gonna make a motion and we're gonna list a list of conditions as part of the conditional use permit. What we'll do is we will journalize this decision this evening to make it effective immediately, because normally you have to wait until the next meeting, till the minutes are approved, but we can journalize it and make it effective immediately. It's up to probably the sheriff and our zoning inspector, if any of these conditions are violated. There can be some minor things, but if it causes a ruckus, a conditional use permit, it can be revoked at any time. Okay?
I understand.
The other thing, and I'm not, we can issue them for a minimum of 1 year, maximum 5 years. I think with this, the way we're going, probably 1 year as a trial thing. And coming back, it's a very easy thing to come back. Once we go a year and there's no problems, you can come back. And didn't we waive all the fees for them?
Yes.
So there would be no fees coming to renew it again.
I would ask that we be able to do that in the early spring again. When we go through this whole process, it's multiple groups, and it's a lot of creating of documentation and flow charts and everything else. So
Yeah, you don't wanna wait until it's
If we were to
already-
find out in December, it would, it'd be pretty intrusive, so I'd like to.
Oh, yeah,
if
we could probably,
revisit
end of
this
the
in
season is
April.
what,
It
May?
makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
work
it
it
makes
from April
sense.
to
Yeah.
April.
We may identify ways to improve it, make it even better.
Absolutely.
So
And
implement those.
we'll be tracking all of that.
Okay. Any other questions of us?
No.
Any
Rachel,
other?
do you have this list, a list of 14?
Yes,
Okay,
striking 3 and,
right, yeah, well.
like I said,
yeah.
it's just,
During the
no
motion.
particular order,
Yeah.
it's just in the nature
Yeah,
of.
during the motion, we'll strike some of
Yeah,
those.
I agree.
At a time.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna ask Mr. Anzera to go ahead once to make the motion and list these. We're not necessarily word for word of what we've got in front, so we're gonna task you a little bit, Rachel. But some of them, it'll be like just a word change or something like that, and we'll make it real easy for you.
Okay, down there too.
Okay?
Dave, I'm sorry, are you striking 5 and 6?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through
Okay.
each one and make sure we're all like
All
on the same page.
Very good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. So does someone here like to make a motion?
Well, do you want to ask if there's anybody else?
Yeah,
Oh, is there anybody opposed?
Just
Yeah, I'm
making
sorry.
sure.
Is there anyone else to speak, anyone else to speak in favor?
Go up there if you want.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this? Dion, do you have anything to say?
Do you swear the
You came this far, you might as well get
truth and
sworn
nothing
in.
but the truth?
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you, first off. I know that this is expedited and the fact that you're willing to journal it to do the conditional use, that's the way this goes. So thank you. Certainly, I know you guys asked a lot of questions and Al did a nice job of talking about how this is a reflection of a lot of people's work, but it's also a lot of years of experience as well. And so it has been, even though the location has changed from time to time, has been with limited problems. And I know this is a population that draws a lot of concern from folks. With the training, we're calling on extended housing and signature health and our mental health providers to help make sure that our volunteers are trained, know the best practices. And again, I think for all of us, we understand this is a challenging population and we don't want to leave the township without recourse of things if we're not holding up our end of the bargain, certainly. The numbers kept coming up time and time again. Just want to share with everybody, last year we never went past 25. So, wherever the fire department says certainly is what we're gonna abide by, but in terms of like thinking the bus is gonna float with 50 people coming off of it, that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Again, thank you to everybody involved.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else to speak or anyone to speak against? I don't know who this guy is back here, but he's just,
Supporting the.
okay. All right, so that being finished, would someone like to make a motion on BZA 0335?
Okay, I would like to make a motion to grant a conditional use permit for case 2025-0335 BZA with the following conditions. Okay, I'm gonna go through each one and make sure we're clear on the conditions.
Do you have
Rather
your
than-
copy of this up there?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Condition 1, Sub-Zero premises is only permitted to operate as a warming center when the official code blue is declared by the party responsible for official declaration.
Okay.
Condition number 2, all people will be documented that are staying and all staff for each nightly event with their names and indicate whether each person is a guest or a Sub-Zero member.
Could that also include other representatives besides Sub-Zero?
Yeah, Code Blue would be the right thing to put in there.
Could be a guest or a Code Blue
Oh, sure.
service member.
So include a guest, a Sub-Zero member, or a Code Blue service member?
Correct.
Okay. Change that. Condition 3 will be if any guest leaves the premises during the Code Blue hours, Sub-Zero Mission will notify the authorities, so they are made aware, the proper authorities. Okay?
What you did is you eliminated the 3 on here and made 4, number
Right.
3 on our conditions,
That's
okay.
Okay, so I combined 3 and 4. All right. Item 5, there will be no sleeping or overnight stays for any reason by any person outside of a declared Code Blue. Next, I don't know if number 6, there'll be no attempts to circumvent a Code Blue declaration such as overnight volunteer events.
I mean, that's
That-
really covered under
Yeah,
number 1.
I don't-
Actually, 5 and 6 are both under 1.
I don't think we need 6, Mr. Chairman.
I'm not sure if we need 5 or 6.
Correct.
Because number 1 is saying it,
Right,
okay, so let's just scratch 5 and 6
take 5 and 6 off, all right.
off that list.
Okay. You have that, Rachel?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, there'll be no alcohol, recreational drug use, or illegal drug use in the facility or anywhere on the premises. Smoking is only permitted outdoors in very limited instances in a designated well-lit area outside of public view.
That's our number 4 then, is that correct?
That's number 4.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Next, We must adhere to all guidance set by the Painesville Township Fire Chief and Painesville Township Fire Department, which includes establishing all safety and safety protocol, fire protection protocol, and determining the maximum capacity of the facility for those who are being sheltered. Okay. Any clarification needed on that?
That makes sense.
Okay. Next, any criminal activity occurring outside the building involving anyone staying will result in a review of the conditional use permit and subject to revocation. Examples include but are not limited to vandalism, trespassing, theft, harassment, etc. Any illegal criminal activity must be immediately reported to the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Are we renumbering these?
We're renumbering, yeah,
Okay.
that was number 6.
That was-
And I think it's important to note that it said it's a review of the conditional use permit, not an automatic revocation of it.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
I read that way
Yeah.
as well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're gonna skip the next one.
Mhm.
Okay, the next,
We're getting rid of
10.
10,
Yeah.
okay.
10 is no longer applicable. The next one, which is 11 on this page, is good faith attempts should be made with the Lake County Commissioners and the Lake County Sheriff to have a deputy on or in immediate vicinity of the premises for the duration of the Code Blue event.
Okay.
Next, enhanced security measures must be used as applicable, including but not limited to metal detector screenings. Next, no weapons of any kind may be kept by overnight guests. I think number 14 is redundant. No warming or, and let's discuss this. No warming or any shelter type operations at any time except for those permitted during the times of a declared code blue during the hours of 6 p.m. to 6:30 a.m.
7.
Oh, 7:30 a.m. From 6 p.m. to 7:30 a.m.
Right.
Is that right? Okay.
So they can come in early and leave later.
Right.
That's number 10.
And I think we need to add one about fire watch.
Well, we could put that back,
That's really per the Painesville Township Fire Department.
Yeah, we
the
could put it
guidance
in
set
there.
by them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay.
and I think what we need to put in there somewhere, if we want to come up with a number of 30,
Mhm.
or if the fire department says you can only house 26, leaving it up to them for actual occupancy for the size of your building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make, we want to word it, I'm not sure how we want to word
I
that.
think I put a maximum of 35 people, or the maximum permitted by the Painesville Township Fire Department, whichever is less.
Yes.
Is what I put.
Right.
Maximum of 35 or
Or the maximum permitted by the Painesville Township Fire Department, whichever is less.
That's good.
Because we could say 35 and the Township Fire Department could say that, well, based on what have you, it's only 20. We can't override that, so.
If they say 40, can we do 40?
They said whichever is less.
Whichever's less. It was a good try.
Whichever is less,
This is a
yeah.
minor note, but sub-zero emission is 3 words. I just noticed it was combined in all of them.
All right,
A lot of what you have here again is pretty standard and is
Yeah.
already, built into this, so.
so Rachel, you want to reread those?
I'll do my best. Okay, so for number 1, the Sub-Zero premises is only permitted to operate as a warming center when official cold blue is declared by the party responsible. Number 2 is document all people staying and all staff for each nightly event, or Name to indicate whether each person
As
is
a guest, as a Sub-Zero member or a Code Blue.
That's okay. That's where I was getting confused. Whether it's each person is a guest, a Sub-Zero member, or a Code Blue member, and then combined 3 and 4. So, is that Sub-Zero will notify authorities if individuals leave the premises.
Yeah, during the evening on their own.
I would suggest, I don't know what the board says, but notify, law enforcement if a guest leaves outside of Code Blue hours. Because I think that's the concern, right? Is that they're leaving between that 6 p.m. and 7:30.
Yeah, if they leave,
Within the
after
code
they've
law.
checked in, if they leave,
Yeah.
that's when someone needs to be notified.
Other, outside of those hours, we
Yeah,
wouldn't be tracking.
outside of the.
Yeah, we wouldn't be tracking it. So it's within the hours that they're checked in.
Outside of Code Blue hours.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
so sorry to interrupt you about this. I would just make the suggestion that it be Sub-Zero Mission or Code Blue representative notify law enforcement if somebody has left. Because it may be a Code Blue representative that's.
Yeah, it could just be a volunteer from the
Okay.
church that's covering that night.
It's like,
has to be one of the guests, is that what you're saying?
Code Blue is the organization that is operating Code Blue at and with the help of Sub-Zero Mission. So just like you want everybody documented, whether it be a guest, a Code Blue, or a Sub-Zero Mission person, you might have a Code Blue person notify law enforcement if somebody leaves the facility. So just,
So the Sub-Zero Mission and Cold Blue.
or Code Blue.
Or Code Blue will notify authorities if
Yeah.
the individual leaves outside of the Code Blue hours.
Within the.
Within
Within the
Okay,
code.
okay. Sorry.
Okay.
That's good.
That was number 3.
Time 17.
Okay. Okay. Number 4, no alcohol, recreational drug use, or illegal drug use in the facility. Smoking is only permitted outdoors. Number 5, must adhere to the guidance set by the Painesville Township Fire Chief or the Painesville Township Fire Department. What was the establish of safety?
It was in adhere to the Painesville Township Fire Chief, Fire Department to ensure compliance with all applicable safety protocols
And occupancy.
and occupancy
Limits.
Protocol and safety limits.
Occupation.
I can't hear to save my life.
Did we include that the number under this one, right? Maximum 35.
Do we want to put it there, or did you want to add it as a?
Yeah, we can make it a separate one, so this one's not too messed up.
Am I going? Alright. See, that was number 5. Okay, number 6, any criminal activity occurring outside the building involving anyone staying will result in review of the conditional use permit and subject to immediate revocation. Did I say that right?
Revocation.
Conditional what was it?
Revocation.
Revocation of the conditional use permit. Let's see, number 10. Number 7, good faith attempts should be made with the Lake County Commissioners and Lake County Sheriffs to have a deputy on or immediate vicinity of the premises during the duration of the Code Blue event. Number 8, did we combine 7 and 8?
No.
Okay. Enhanced security measures must be used, including but not limited to metal detector screenings. Number 9, no weapons of any kind may be kept by overnight guests. Number 10, no warming or any shelter type operations at any time except for those permitted during the times of declared Code Blue declaration during hours of 6 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. And then number 11 is a max of 35 or a max of 35 guests or I wrote it quick. Max of 35 or max permitted by the Painesville Township Fire Department or less of
Whichever number is less.
whichever is less.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, any questions on those?
I'm gonna help you get through a
Period
process.
of- for a period of 1 year.
Yeah, for a period of 1 year, right? That's in the, okay, so the motion's been made, it's been read, checked. Someone like to second it, please?
Well, with that, 1 year, do we have to put anything that we're gonna revisit it in May?
I don't know if we need that.
It's not needed just because we're gonna be in communication, you know, obviously throughout, and then once we get into the May, I'd just rather knock it out instead of sitting here a week before Christmas.
How will you handle that? Would you want me to come back every single year, or if there was?
No, if everything goes smooth, we'll probably extend it from 1 year.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so if you wanna be ahead of it, you can just be like my miniature pony lady and come to me way earlier, like.
I know you're hanging with Mealy on that.
See, there you go.
I guess you could say that 1 year or 1 season.
Yeah, it basically goes in my calendar reminder as renewal,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Can I say something? So for the smoking, I just heard that you're smoking outside, but I thought you guys wanted another clean area. How is it supposed to you? Sorry.
And well lit.
Yeah.
I think,
Both of those.
We have an area back there that the guys smoke in the corner.
I think it says well-lit
Yeah.
area.
Sorry, that's my.
I think
that's
she
my
just
legal
didn't read
eagle.
that portion. It's in there.
Trying to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Very good.
I may not have said that.
today, Sean.
she's on the payroll, he's not.
Do I need to reread
It's
it?
okay.
Okay, so make sure that the thing about the smoking is included just as it's written here, the well-lit area.
Designated well-lit area. Yeah, it's in here.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so the motion's been made and seconded. Would someone,
Oh, who
or no,
seconded?
it has not been
I'll second.
seconded. Okay, it's seconded now. Rachel, if you'll call the roll, please.
Okay, Tom Hill,
Yes.
Dave Lindros.
Yes.
Randy Van Buren,
Yes.
Dave Anzera.
Yes.
Okay, now would someone like to make a motion to journalize this decision so it becomes effective immediately?
I will make the motion that we journalize case 2025-0335-BZA to journalize this evening.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Rachel?
Dave Anzera,
Yes.
Tom Hill,
Yes.
Randy Van Buren,
Yes.
Dave Lindros.
Yes. Okay. I thank you, gentlemen. Good luck.
Thank
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
That's what you're doing.
Need a motion to close the special meeting?
I'll move that we close the special meeting.
I will second.
Rachel?
Dave Anzera,
Yes.
Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Randy Van Buren,
Yes.
Tom Hill.
Yes.
I think
All right.
it's safe to assume that when that gets drafted up formally, that we will get a
Correct.
copy of the.
Yeah.
you'll see it.
Okay.